Welcome back. My second guest today is Carl Pittman. He recently graduated from Civil and Environmental Engineering here at Mississippi State, and he's going to be starting his master's this fall, I presume?
I'm starting research this summer.
Starting research this summer, so hot out of the block, so that's great. But you're the captain of the concrete canoe team.
Yes, sir.
And the team has had a lot of success this semester. So tell me a little bit about the team. You know, who's on the team and where are they from? And
The team is made up of any year civil engineering student who's a member of our student chapter of ASC, that's American Society of Civil Engineers. They also have to be a national member. And so it's any age, but typically we have mostly juniors and seniors. The freshmen and sophomores don't really feel they don't know that many people on the team yet and everything, so people just get more comfortable, and it's typically juniors and seniors on the team. We have a few freshmen and sophomores though.
Okay, and about how many students do you have on the team?
A little over 20.
A little over 20, okay, so it's a decent sized team.
Yes, sir.
And tell me about the whole competition. I think of concrete, I think of it as something that you don't typically use to build a canoe. So.
No, sir, and that's the challenge of it. And this is one of our cylinders.
Okay.
And it's made of very specialized aggregate, and you can feel it. A typical cylinder like that would weigh about 7 or 8 pounds of regular concrete. Ours weighs about 1.5 pounds.
It feels very light just holding it, yeah.
And so we use aggregates that are expanded glass beads, and we create a concrete mix design that's lighter than water. Okay. And so this cylinder, if you dropped it in water, would float on its own.
So in the competition, are there special requirements for the concrete and the mixtures that you use?
There's a set of rules that have requirements on every aspect of the competition. The concrete mix design is a big part of it. There's specific things that you can and can't do. Every year they typically change 1 or 2 things. They just tweak the rules a little bit. That's so teams can't just use exactly what they used last year, and creates a little bit more of a challenge every year.
Okay, so you mix the concrete, you pour it into a mold or
yes,
something?
Yes, sir. We have a styrofoam mold that we cut out with a CNC machine that the university has. And so we got a real symmetric mold, and then we mix the concrete and pour it in there, and it cures for 28 days, and we pull it out.
And then tell me about the competition. You have to go a certain distance, or?
There's 4 aspects to the competition. There's a design report that we have to submit, and it's 25% of your score. There's a presentation at competition, that's 25%. There's a product display that's 25%, and then the races are 25%. So while the races are what everybody thinks about, they're actually only a quarter of your overall score.
So this presumably is good preparation for becoming an engineer and actually going out and practicing as a professional engineer in the industry.
Yes, sir. It's been very helpful.
So what are some of the biggest things that you've learned as a result of being on the team?
One of the big things is the difference between what you plan to happen and what actually happens. A big example of that is theoretically our canoe was supposed to weigh about 200 to 220 pounds, and it came out 320 pounds.
Okay,
so
I can see how that would be a challenge.
Yeah, it's hard to control the thickness when you pour it, and that's what happened. Is we had some spots that were the thickness we wanted, and then some were too thick, and it just led to a heavier canoe. So that was probably the biggest thing. Is it can say on paper that it's going to be 1/2 inch thick, but then in spots it may be 3/4 of an inch, and in spots it may be 1/4 of an inch. So that was a big part, a big learning curve.
Yeah, and so you won at the regional competition this year, and so the next stage is the national competition?
Yes, sir. Going to nationals in Golden, Colorado.
Okay, how do you think you're going to do?
The competition's pretty tough there. They have about 4 or 5 schools that have very light canoes, which helps you out a lot in the races. But again, that's only 1/4 of your score, and I think we have a pretty good report and presentation, and good looking canoe, which is a big part of it too.
Yeah, well, I wish you all the best. I hope that you come away successful from the national competition. I think it's great for the university to get this sort of publicity with the great things that the Concrete Canoes team is doing. So thank you for being a guest here today, and all the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's about all we have time for today. We look forward to you joining us again next time.